Now, the Denver Broncos was a team I had a lot of high hopes for before the season started. But after week 4, it kind of went downhill. Obviously, when you look at the Broncos, their offense has been struggling a lot lately, especially for the past 3 seasons when you had Noodle Arm Peyton Manning. And it's kind of funny to look back at it that they had a quarterback debate with the Broncos, or a quarterback battle between Noodle Arm Peyton Manning and Brock Osweiler. That's pretty yuckish if you ask me. And then you got Trevor Siemian out there, who obviously is the player who is winning the battles. He's obviously their best quarterback on the roster, but it's clear that he is not good. And also, John Elway does not want him to be the quarterback on the team. When you look at John Elway was a very physically gifted quarterback, extremely physically gifted. He could move, he was big, and he had one hell of a cannon. Yeah, a lot of people said that this guy was the next John Unitas at the time, obviously. This is back in '83. They might have compared like Andrew Luck to John Elway back in 2012, but whatever. Ideally, he was compared to Johnny Unitas and whatnot. And you got a lot of talent there. And so Paxton Lynch has obviously not developed, and that has hurt the Denver Broncos. He's a first-round pick, and he's been sitting on the bench for 2 years. Obviously, there has been injuries here and there, and when he's played, he hasn't looked super, super impressive. And just to put this all in perspective and whatnot with the Denver Broncos, how they brought back Brock Osweiler, it just really hasn't helped. And when you look at the Broncos, if you look even deeper, it's not even their offense that's talking about. Sometimes it's their defense. Their defense hasn't been as dominant as they need them to be to carry this offense. Yeah, sure. I think the high point of the season was clearly them beating on the Dallas Cowboys, but looking at Dallas is not a playoff team. And to put that in perspective, the Broncos defense completely fell apart once they lost Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips is the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams. And I think that DC part really kept that unit together, because I'm not sure if there's a real leader on the Broncos defense. Ever since they lost to Marcus Ware, there hasn't really been that leadership role. I mean, Von Miller, is he a leader? I don't know. Is Talib a leader? Definitely not. And you just go across the board, they don't really have that leadership there to really run the defense right now. And that's something Vance Joseph needs to do. Vance Joseph was a defensive mind coming out of the Miami Dolphins and whatnot. And it just looks like they have definitely regressed from last season. I mean, the New England Patriots carved them up offensively, and that's the team that they were built to beat, the team that they were striving to compete in the AFC conference game that they did back 2 years ago. Got completely carved up out there. And it was a home game too. So when it comes to the Broncos, they completely imploded after the season. I remember just looking back at that, they were, by the first quarter of the season, you could argue them to be a top 5 team in the league. They clearly did not finish the year as a top 5 team. And just to put this perspective with the Denver Broncos and whatnot, it was a very, very disappointing year. And sure, you can blame it on the offense all you want, but the defense, for how great it is, wasn't super great this year.